Meanwhile, Trump is winning around the board, all over the place. I want to dive into a poll number. We're going to just tell just a snippet, but I want to dive into this whole thing because Trump is making history. Please, before we get into this, like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know that you're here. Let us know in the comments for the algorithm. We absolutely believe in that because they help us to get noticed on YouTube. And if you really like the content, please share it with everybody that you know. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, join us as a member of Courageous Army on YouTube or on Patreon. Now, let's dive in. I'm going to cover briefly these polls, and we're going to get into a lot more detail. But first, we're going to get into the fact that the Dems are coping and seething over the fact that they cannot destroy Trump. Check this out.
We're going to look at the strongly approved numbers. So this isn't just Republicans who like Donald Trump. This is Republicans who love Donald Trump. And he's up like a rocket. Look at this. In July 2017, the strongly approved was 53%. That's pretty good. But look at where he is now. 63% of Republicans strongly approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing about 5 months into his presidency. Republicans love Donald Trump the way that Americans love Disney World.
Absolutely true. So Trump is we're going to get into the fact that he's making history, but this is massive. This is strongly approved. Now, this is Republicans, this is not Democrats, 63%. We're going to get into the history of that. But first, I want to dive into one of the things that is propelling him here, and that is his entire immigration policy. Check this out. Because he had a huge day yesterday where he visited Alligator Alcatraz, which is an amazing accomplishment by DeSantis, really. Check this out.
But all the stuff that goes into intake and processing of illegals, you're seeing this put up. This is all 24 hours. 24 hours from now, you're going to see even more. And by Tuesday, this will be able to have intake of illegals.
And you've thought of everything. Okay, so there are 4 gigantic tents. Let's come on over here, Governor. And people are thinking, okay, you're in the middle of the Everglades. It's hot. That would explain why you've got this bank of air conditioners here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be, illegals will come in, they'll be processed, there'll be places for them to be housed, you'll have an ability for food, you'll have an ability for them to consult legal rights if they have that, because there is a process that's involved with this. So this is really everything. This is going to be a self-contained little area. And then, of course, you also have stuff for the staff that work here. So we've got laundry facilities, we've got showers, we've got, obviously, there you see the shower and bath facilities.
Yep, right there.
Yep.
Where do you go to get a bunch of bathrooms like that?
Well, so this is being done by the Division of Emergency Management. So when we have a hurricane, like we would actually have people stage here for hurricane response normally, anyways, but we have it. When we have all the linemen come in to do the power, we have to set up little areas for them. And so you have all this type of stuff. So this is not our first rodeo. The detainee, illegal alien mission's a little bit different, and the deportations, but logistics, we know how to do that.
Right, and you know, for people...
And they did this all in a week. This camp is going to be up and running and ready to go in a week. This is amazing stuff by DeSantis. And this is a huge win by Trump. And the media types are coping and seething over it. Check out Joy Reid. Joy Reid is back at it. She's a complete train wreck, but here we go.
Tried to forget about him, but Ron DeSantis is still governor of Florida. He took the Comfy Couch hosts on a tour of the concentration camp that he's building in Florida in order to round up brown people, and throw them in a camp because he doesn't want them in Florida. Surprise, surprise, the economy of Florida is going to be severely harmed by rounding up brown people who, by the way, all over this country, Latinos are afraid to go to work. Anybody who is perceived or looks Latino is afraid to go to work. I know people who are not Latino, but they're brown, and so they look Latino to the naked eye, if you don't know any better, who are walking around with their passports, who never leave home without a passport. Tried to forget about him, but Ron DeSantis.
So Joy Reid is absolutely apoplectic, and I love it. I love it. I love Joy Reid tears because she is such a train wreck. So now she's basically saying this is a concentration camp, and Trump is just running around rounding up brown people. This has nothing to do with skin color or ethnicity or anything else. It has to do with, are you in the country illegally? And guess what, Joy? America is not with you on this one. You can cope and seethe and cry and shed tears all you want, America is not.
You know, if we just take a look at the baseline numbers here, this is Trump's net approval rating on immigration. It's gone up like a rocket. Compare now versus 8 years ago during Trump's first term. Look at this. In his first term, Trump was way, way, way underwater at minus 21 points. But look at this. He's up over 20 points. Now, in the aggregate, he is in positive territory at plus 1 point on his net approval rating. Some other polls even have it a little bit higher than that. There is no issue on which Trump is doing so much better than he was in his first term, more than the issue of immigration. No wonder the Times has written up the way that he is. Trump is begging for a fight on this because he knows what he's doing so far is working with the American electorate.
Where does immigration rank on issues for him? How is he doing compared to others?
Yeah, so I think what's so important is it is his top issue so far. And the reason it is his top issue is because take a look at the individual nuggets in here. Why are people approving of Trump on immigration, approve of these different immigration actions? Well, Trump's administration's program to deport those here illegally. Look at this, 54% approval. How about agents searching your hometown for those that they think are here illegally? Again, positive territory here, above 50% for Donald Trump. So it's not just on the broad issue of immigration where Trump is doing well. It's on the specifics. When you dive into the issues, Trump is above 50% and his actions are above 50%, at least with those most directly connected to what's going on right now out in Los Angeles.
So
Exactly, Joy Reid. America is not with you. You are standing, you have planted yourself, like every other Democrat, firmly on the 20% side of the scale on an 80-20 issue. And that is why Trump is making history with approval. We're going to dive back into this other poll. This is absolutely amazing stuff. Here we go.
The bottom line is 63%. That is a huge base. And of course, it's just part of a Republican base in which about 90% of them overall approve of him, including the somewhat approves as well.
I mean, every politician would like this number here, especially to see it go up. How about compared to other presidents who were Republicans?
Yeah, it's history making. It's history making. What are we talking about here? So why don't we look back? We have all the presidents, Republican presidents, going back over the last 35, 36, 37 years. What are we talking about? GOP, who strongly approved 5 months in. Look at this. George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, 46%. Bush 43, 59. You see Trump, the first term, 53. But look at this. 63%. He beats all the other Republicans on the board here. And I was looking even back since Reagan. And get this, Donald Trump beats Ronald Reagan when it comes to the strongly approved 5 months. And of course, Reagan was coming off that high after that assassination attempt. So the bottom line is Donald Trump is making history with the Republican base. He is more beloved by this Republican base than any Republican base loved any GOP president 5 months in. It is history making.
And this is the strongly approve. When you add the approve and somewhat approve, Trump is in the 90s, 90% approval with the GOP, which is why he commands such power. Check this out, because when it comes to, this is Trump's approval. Check this out.
And it's not just the polling. We actually have the data to show that the Republican base is with Donald Trump. The Times Trump endorsees won the GOP primary for governor and congressional races. Look at this. 2024, 96%. 2022, 95%. 2020, 98%. The bottom line is this. 95% plus of the time, the Trump-endorsed candidate wins in GOP primaries. And even in the cases where Donald Trump endorses a challenger to an incumbent, the majority of the time, that challenger wins. So Donald Trump is a winner in Republican primaries. You go against Donald Trump, to quote the movie Good Burger, you go in the grinder. Donald Trump is the key nugget. His endorsement is the key nugget in a GOP primary because he's historically, strongly popular with the GOP base.
And that is why the big, beautiful bill will pass, because there is not a congressman in the House that is going to stand up and potentially get primaried by Trump. Also, because they know they have a mechanism to go get the other spending cuts that they want. And that is weekly rescission bills that are nothing more than mini reconciliations that they can go on all year. So my prediction is Trump will have the big, beautiful bill on his desk, if not July 4th, July 5th or 6th. He will have it. It'll get signed. That'll be the next win in the coffer. And then all we're waiting for is Powell to resign or to actually lower rates, and then potentially a ceasefire with Gaza that is already in the works. Hey, guys, thanks so much for rolling up. Really appreciate everybody being here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please share Courageous Media with everybody that you know. Support the channel by joining us on YouTube or on Patreon. Really appreciate everybody being here. Remember, God is good and he is sovereign. It'll all be good in the end. Till I catch you next time.